Charles Sturgis.
And I'm Will Plows, and welcome to episode 13 of the Drive By podcast.
Unlucky for some.
Number 13, very unlucky.
I know.
But, it's Halloween soon, but we've had a good race.
I know, but before that, I'd just like to remark on the fact that we've actually got our matching mugs here.
There's always been 2 mugs on this show.
There have, but now there are 2 actual bits of crockery that hold water.
Yours is a good plug for you.
Coffee. Oh, yep, there you go.
A good plug for us.
Marvellous. So, yes, we were in Spa this weekend. Well, not personally, I'd love to have been, but...
I wish we were.
I know. But it
was...
Our
favourite track.
Our favourite track.
Yeah.
Bit of an interesting race, apart from the fact that Lewis Hamilton won. But if you discount Lewis Hamilton...
I think he's just...
What was that rant you were having earlier on while we were setting up?
Oh, about Bottas and Hamilton?
Yeah.
Yeah, it really annoyed me, this. So...
It's the same thing I'm going to talk about as well.
Everyone says it's favouritism. And Bottas always claims his favouritism. And there definitely is favouritism now.
100%.
Because didn't Bottas say, I can push now?
He said something like, are we going to move to mode 4 or something like that for that extra push?
And then they said, no, we're not racing the 2 cars or something like that.
Yeah, we agreed.
That was it.
We agreed we
not
won't be
that.
pushing.
And then Bottas said, I've never heard that
I
before.
never heard that. No one told me.
And I just think that's a bit...
I feel...
Sorry for him.
I feel like if he felt like it, he could just go, right, you all.
Do you think he would?
I'm going to Racing Point or Aston Martin or anything like that. Aston Racing Point.
Do you think
Martin.
he just put his foot down a little bit now in the track as well?
What? Just
go against the team orders.
I think, yeah, because at the end of the day, they've still booked him for
next year.
Unless there's an interesting clause in there which says you're the number 2 driver, BTW.
Really?
By the way.
BTW.
BTW. I don't
not BWT. Best What's Technology.
Oh, interesting plug there. We're not sponsored by them, but
no, we're not. Good plug for them.
Exactly. So it was a bit of an... Ricciardo had a good race.
Well, I was going to mention this actually. Renault, are they back to top form now?
Well, were they... Well, the top form for them is winning championships.
Yeah, very true. But they came 4th and 5th.
So they're holding their own.
Past Albon.
Ocon, we've actually seen do something for the first time this season.
He didn't set us on fire, did he, really?
No, exactly.
When we were at the start of the season. But now, he's really coming to their own. But I was watching a video with Daniel Ricciardo. Daniel Ricciardo, and saying that they've completely changed the setup of the car following the 70th Grand Prix race. And now they've really found the sweet spot. So, the G spot of the Formula 1 car. Just don't go there.
No,
that's coming later in the show.
Later in the show, in the extra bit.
But they're basically saying that they've really found a sweet spot with the car now, and that if they keep going, they'll be able to challenge Red Bull.
I think they probably could do. They were having a bit of a scrap. Albon was having a bit of a Ocon was having a scrap with Albon.
Yeah.
Which it'd be nice to see. Just, I'm not that bothered. We all accept that Mercedes are the top dog.
Yeah.
And they're going to remain that way for the foreseeable. But it would be quite nice to see some really good midfield fights.
Yeah, or even like top midfield fights. McLaren, where were they in that race?
Yeah, no, they weren't.
Didn't even start one of the cars.
No, it's a bit of an issue. Like, if I'd forgive F1 if there was some proper fighting in the midfield, because you can watch that, and often there's more going on there. There's not often. Occasionally you'll see a bit of scrapping for the lead, but other than that.
There's not much going on, is there?
It was, and I love Spa, and I really wanted to love the race, but I was just underwhelmed the whole time.
Oh, see, I was the opposite of that, though. But I really felt sorry for Alex Albon. I really feel sorry for him right now, because I think he's getting a lot of stick for not being up there with Max. Like, Lewis Hamilton was doing an interview afterwards, and was basically saying that Red Bull are just a one-man team, and that Max is so far ahead, which he kind of is. But he's been with Red Bull for so long.
Yeah.
And then Max Verstappen, not Max Verstappen, Alex Albon said that the AlphaTauri car is less complicated to drive.
Yes, yeah.
And Pierre Gasly said the same thing. And now when they've swapped, they're each doing better than each other, sort of, for their car. So I feel sorry for him in a way, that he's just not getting much of a chance.
Is it a culture within Red Bull? Because we've seen this, actually pretty much since Red Bull became Red Bull. Because we had Vettel, and everyone went, Vettel.
Yeah.
Maybe within the team. There was a bit of toing and froing.
With Webber.
Multi-21, obviously. We rant on about that. I'd love a T-shirt that says Multi-21.
Should it built?
I think
or
built.
Built.
Built a T-shirt.
Built by Drive-By, the quality you didn't know you need.
Actually, that's a genius idea. I'm going to get some T-shirts made with Multi-21 on them.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Sorry for repeating your words there as well.
So we had the same thing with Webber.
Yeah, and then Ricciardo.
Are you going to make a decision on how his surname is read?
Daniel Ricciardo.
Should we just call him Dan?
Dan.
Dan the man. But he was, again...
Steely Dan.
He had his moment of brilliance, and then Max came along, and they just focus a bit too much on the number one driver, in inverted commas. So I think it's a bit of a theme within... And the same thing with... Who was the other geezer that they replaced? I don't know. Was it Kvyat?
Kvyat. Because he's now at AlphaTauri, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's been there for ages.
Or was it Gasly?
No, Gasly was there out
Gasly was
as well.
at Red Bull, but I don't think Kvyat was.
No, Kvyat was, and then he got replaced by Ricciardo.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Kvyat was there.
Right, okay. Well, I'll take your... But it's the same thing again.
Then he got dropped. He got dropped for Verstappen. Didn't he?
No. He got dropped for Albon. One of them got dropped for...
Are you sure?
Whichever of the AlphaTauri...
No, because Ricciardo was there.
I'm not getting
and then Verstappen came in.
This is not interesting for the viewers and listeners, an argument on semantics.
Because we're both wrong on everything
exactly.
we say.
So one of the AlphaTauri drivers, current AlphaTauri drivers, was at Red Bull, and then they were replaced. So insert there, whoever it actually was, who got replaced by Albon.
And then we can move on.
But then again, I think
no, we've moved on.
I think someone will come along that will kick Albon out. I don't think Albon will have a fair shout.
No, I think you might be right, actually.
Because I think... whatever the hell his name is, Verstappen feels quite...
But do you think it's a championship-winning car?
No.
No, it's not. And I don't think Verstappen's going to get a championship with Red Bull.
No.
And not until 2022 when the new regulations are out.
Yeah.
It's all going to be competitive.
I'm so sick of hearing about it. Oh, when 2022 comes along, no, it'll be fine. We'll be fine. Because 2022, they include rockets on the car, so everything will be fine. Afterburner at the back.
Exactly. But no, we're actually seeing now, though, Ferrari got overtaken by an Alfa Romeo.
Yes, that was brilliant.
That was fantastic.
Why didn't Kimi just wave to Seb as he went by? Just went...
Or just flip the bird.
Just flip.
What were you doing? Communicating.
Your Top Gun references. But yeah, no, it was awesome. Very, very interesting to see that.
And then we saw what I think could be the overtake of the century so far.
Which was that?
Pierre on
Eau Rouge.
On the inside of Eau Rouge. We've seen Webber, haven't we, on the outside of Eau Rouge. Pierre now on the inside of Eau Rouge. That is big balls.
You've got to have some
balls of a horny ram to do that, haven't you?
Some steel cojones to do that, because that's a bit of a... And plus everyone, poor old Antoine Hubert's accident is always playing on their mind.
Yeah, exactly. Especially at that corner.
Exactly, yeah. So I think ballsy work from him, but would they go and swap Albon out for him if he's...
Yeah, but then what would happen then if Albon did really well at AlphaTauri? They both said that's an easier car to drive.
Well, there you go.
And Albon still finished higher.
Question for you. Do you think, let's get your opinion on it, do you think Sebastian Vettel will be going to Aston Racing Martin Point?
No.
Do you not think he will?
No, I don't think he will. He's not really shone, has he? And why would
what, Seb in general?
No, he's not shone this season at all.
No, I know, because he's in a crap car.
Leclerc's done better.
Leclerc's done better, but I think Seb is so... And I think we've mentioned this before, maybe a bit of Ferrari... niggling at him for going. So I think it might happen. But I read some something an Italian magazine called La Gazzetta dello Sport, Sporting Gazette, I assume that is.
Good translation.
Excellent. Saying that they reckon that the deal has been done. And they're just not going to say it until Racing Point becomes Aston Martin. So I imagine they'll do a big launch and it'll all be lovely, and then they'll go. Seb's
here. Maybe they won't announce it until the actual new car comes out and Seb will be driving it.
No, I think you know how they have a cover on the car.
Well, he's under the cover.
He's under the cover. You just go, God, that's a really small car, and it looks a bit like a bloke. And then they pull it up and go, oh, it's Sebastian Vettel with some wheels on him.
Do you think he will be at Aston Martin?
I think it would be silly not. He won't become a pundit.
No, he won't do.
He wouldn't bother doing.
I don't think he does it enough.
I don't think he's ready for it.
No, maybe.
Because that's when you've sort of packed it in, really, isn't it?
He's got a good sense of humour, though, off camera.
He does have a great sense of humour.
You know, he's a really big fan of Monty Python.
Yes, yeah. I think you probably have. But anyway, I think we could leave F1. Spa was good in places, but overall a bit meh.
Yeah, but now we've got Monza next week. Which I'm looking forward to.
And that actually brings me on to an interesting bit. In fact, I've got a question for you. I'm gonna stay on F1. Because I've been watching Formula E.
Have you?
Recently.
Yeah. Bored.
No, do you know what?
That's a bit mean,
actually. Do you know what? I actually quite enjoyed it.
Is that because there's lots of action?
I really quite like it. And And that's my issue with tracks, because tracks for Formula E races, they're not told about them. They don't know. They know roughly what it's going to look like.
Oh, right, yeah.
And they're built by one bloke who does all the tracks within a given space, and he lays the track out.
Really?
So it can change at a moment's notice. So we had...
That's quite cool.
London one was around the centre. It was almost around Parliament Square and all this sort of stuff. This 2020 was done in the XL Arena, which I think is a bit... It was part indoor, which I like the idea, a bit of indoor. But I think that it... I think that they could have spiced it up a little bit more.
It just isn't very exciting.
I disagree. There was some proper chopping and changing. There is no noise, but there's something interesting about the noise. But once you do it, you're going, oh, that sounds a bit spicy at that. But when you're invested in the racing, you're going, oh, he's giving it some nose. It's getting to the high pitch of... I wonder if older people can't hear, because they can't pick up the top range.
Maybe dogs hate it.
I bet dogs hate Formula
dogs
E.
absolutely hate it.
Absolutely, everyone at a mile radius.
No dogs allowed.
Absolutely, you can't hear for the sound of barking going on. But no, I was comparing it to stuff like... In fact, I'll get them up for her. I'll show you later. But the Santiago setup for next year, because they're going to Chile and Rome and London, and they're all really real. They obviously have to be tight because we're not dealing with the same range.
Cars as well, though.
Yeah, they are. When they have a bash, they're properly, and they're much more wheel to wheel.
Yeah, they really are.
It's an interesting thing. I've watched some W series before. The women's series, and that's some wheel to wheel stuff.
Is there?
Yeah,
because you get that in Formula 2 and in Formula 3.
They are, in terms of, if you compared it to a Formula 1 car, there's a lot less in aero going on and all that stuff. So you've got end plates, front plate, proper old school F1 type style, and they're bashing wheels and all sorts of stuff. It's really, really interesting.
Yeah, because Williams have a W series as their reserve driver, Jamie Chadwick.
Oh, is that who it is?
Yeah.
Oh. I've got some interesting news about Williams coming up in the motoring news, which we will be doing now.
That was a very abrupt way to go into the news.
It was a bit, yeah.
Anyway, what have you got for me this week? Because usually I start it off. What have you got for me?
I've got some news from the United States of good old America.
Have you? So have I, but what have you got?
Manufacturers of electric cars in the next 6 months have got some new... God, this is... Bear with me on this.
This is Charles, who always goes on about, you've got electric cars for me. Well, there you go.
Well, the electric cars thing is primarily because it's always in the news, but I think this is actually quite funny. Because in the next 6 months, American authorities have said you've got to make electric cars louder so you don't get run down in the Walmart, I suppose.
Really?
Of America, yes. You've got to make them loud. But it's the speed.
Have they not got things called eyes?
Well, yeah, you'd have thought that.
Or sense.
But
actually, America has no sense. That was a silly thing to say, wasn't it? Sorry.
It's up to... You've got to make your noise up to 18.6 miles per hour. Very specific, that,
18.6?
Yeah, to stop people walking into the road. It's not applicable above that speed.
Right.
Then they deem road noise and air noise.
What are they going to do? Put a V8 up to 18.6 miles an
hour? And then it just goes quiet again. No, so I think that's an interesting thing. So the fact that you can legitimately not have this noise after 18.6 miles an hour, just drive faster in local areas. Absolutely sorted. But I do believe that electric cars... Can you remember Tesla? Maybe in an early episode we may have mentioned this. Tesla were going to put your own noises on cars. You could choose from like a list of noises.
Were going to...
Because they were going to do like the Monty Python coconut clapping. No, it's an Elon Musk tweet. Which can never be taken seriously.
Well, do you know what you can do in a Tesla?
You can have farting or whatever you want.
Can you?
Yeah, that's what they said they do. You can have a farting Tesla. Yeah. But I think they should make a specific noise.
Oh, God.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say, do you know what you can do in a Tesla? I saw on Facebook the other day. You can play Mario Kart. Using the wheel and the pedals.
Is it Mario Kart, though?
Mario
or is it
Kart.
A version of Mario Kart?
It's actual Mario Kart.
Really?
I think that's really cool. It's going to get young people interested in driving, actually.
So I think this should be the noise. The noise for all electric cars.
It's the right video,
mandated. Yes, mandated. There was an old 60s cartoon called The Jetsons, which were futuristic people and whatever the hell happened. I've no idea. But this is the sound that their flying saucer made, and I think it should just be... I mean, someone's dubbed it onto an i3 here, but listen.
That is brilliant.
all electric cars should be made to sound like that.
Like the Jetsons.
I think that's just amazing.
That is pretty cool, actually.
Anyway, have you got anything for me?
I've also got some stuff from America.
What's that?
But this is properly America.
Right.
You know Hennessy?
As American as a burger and a bud.
Yes, literally.
Right.
This is what you serve with when you buy this car.
Burger and a bud on wheels.
Hennessy.
You know yes, you use. What have they done?
Make the Velociraptor, make the Chevrolet-based Goliath, 6x6. Yeah. They're making another 6x6 wheeler.
What?
Of the Ram 1500 TRX.
Oh, God, is that it?
That's the picture there. We'll have it here.
Yeah, you'll see it there.
Anyway, what they're doing, they're having it with a Elephant engine. Elephant engine, a motor crate engine. 700 horsepower?
Elephant crate
V12.
Motor. 7 litre V12.
Yeah.
Developing 1,200 horsepower.
Yeah. Isn't that
awesome.
the most American thing you've ever seen in your entire life?
That is unbelievable.
And
Could
looks
you imagine
awesome.
dealing with that in the UK? What's it going to cost?
Quite a lot.
£500,000.
Yes. Quite a lot of money. But the only people that are going to buy that really are rappers. Post Malone, he has a 6x6 from Hennessy.
Does he?
Yeah, the Velociraptor 6x6.
Because Post Malone, I think he lives out in the desert, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He doesn't live in LA, does he?
No.
But no, I think that's properly
That
cool.
is absolutely brilliant.
Properly cool. And properly American off that tosh you just
So you
about.
think that's properly cool. Should I show you what I think is properly cool at the moment?
Go on then.
Now, this came out a while ago and I wasn't paying attention.
Is it appropriate for a car podcast?
Yes. This came out a while ago, but I wasn't paying attention. That is the new DS Automotive DS9.
Do you know what? I actually don't hate that.
That looks
in
awesome.
that colour as well.
I think
Sorry
that
for
looks
touching your
really
toy.
good. I think that looks really,
DS9.
really good. DS9. I was a
Sounds
big fan of the C6.
Sounds like a Nintendo console.
It does, yeah. But I was a big fan of the Citroen C6. I thought that was a lovely car.
I bet it's beautiful inside as well.
Oh, I bet it is absolutely good. It's all quilted leather, the whole bit. Beautifully done inside. It shares a platform with the Peugeot 508, which I think looks actually really good. You know, the one with the angry lights? Yeah, I think that looks good. I will give Peugeot that. I think that looks really quite good.
I don't agree with you there.
But one thing about this car...
Yeah.
Two things, actually. One, I really like, and two, disturbs me slightly. In a throwback to the old Citroen DS of the 60s, they have the tail lamps, the rear indicators mounted up here. You can't see on that picture, but they have them mounted up here where the old one was, which I think looks awesome.
Yeah.
But there's something else that perturbs me slightly. On the bonnet or the hood, it's got a Brazilian.
It's got a landing strip.
Oh, that's it. Which one is which?
Brazilian is when it's
I think that looks awesome.
Yeah.
But that thing, I like what they've done. I think it is chrome.
So is that what you're into
sparkly,
then?
And that's
a bonnet with a landing strip on.
Yeah, very good. But I think that looks great. I'm really looking forward to that.
I can't get that out of my head now.
No, you're not going to. You're not going to. You're just going to see one of those. I think they look great. I'm not sure what.
Every time I see one of those, I imagine you with a landing strip.
Oh, please. God, no.
Move on.
Cut that out. Cut that out. Next up, what have you got for me?
I've got this. So was it last week or the week before? I mentioned the Acura NSX that was then turned into a LaFerrari.
And that cost about $100,000.
$120,000.
$120,000.
Anyway, I've seen someone again in America who's
turned
a Honda Cross Tour into a Lamborghini Urus. You'll see it here. Isn't that just the best thing you've ever seen?
No, I'm sorry. That's not a Lamborghini. That is about as far away from a Lamborghini as I have.
That's a midlife crisis and a divorce all in one.
I know that's just
no
one who did that is married. He maybe did it for a joke with his friends, but that is the most tragic looking thing I've ever seen. It doesn't even look anything like. The only bit that looks a bit like a Urus is sort of this front corner.
No, we've seen the back. Look at the back of it.
It's got a spoiler.
What's the point of that on a front wheel drive car?
But there's no spoiler on the Urus.
This is stupid. It's just
stupid.
awful. Why do people actually do this to their cars to make it look better than they actually are?
Did he say, I can go one better?
Oh, God.
Check this out. They started life as a Pontiac Fiero, as they all do.
Is it a Ferrari?
It's an Enzo. Look at that! Look at the V12 badge on there. That's going a bit, isn't it? There. Would you like to see? There you go. There's another angle for you.
It's got the proper doors on it. And
it's
everything.
got doors. Look at that one.
That's another one. But you know what the most sad thing is?
What?
It's the Ferrari. So look at the wheels.
I know they're absolutely. They're just
it's the most tragic thing
nicked off a shopping trolley.
Seen.
I think that's awesome. The yellow one I think is particularly amazing.
Looks like a Diablo.
I think the fact
Not
that
Diablo,
they've put Ferrari on the front there in a desperate attempt that
it looks like
first
a Mitsubishi.
Glance, you might think, what do you mean a Mitsubishi? Which Mitsubishi?
The emblem on the front. It looks like a Pontiac, but it looks like a...
Oh, it does a bit, actually.
Mitsubishi there, doesn't it? Maybe it's the Mitsubishi LaFerrari.
Do you want to see the back of it? Look at that! 3 tailpipes! Or is it 2? I can't... No, that's
4.
3.
It's 4 of those, isn't
it?
it?
I think there's 4. Yeah, you might be right.
That looks like something off of Cars, the film.
It does. It looks like the knockoff on Cars.
Yeah.
Look at the panel gap on the door there.
That is a whopper,
awesome.
that is, isn't it?
I think that's just the best thing ever.
Yeah. Jesus. Bring some sense onto the show.
So I bring some legal news.
Oh, really?
Williams Advanced Engineering, which is a branch, I imagine, of Williams F1, are suing Lotus. Well, there'll be legal action because Lotus have said, okay, cheers, thanks very much, but we'll take the Aviga from here on in. They're going to be building the Aviga in house, and Williams will have nothing to do with it.
Really?
Against the contract that they made up.
That's the inner Colin Chapman coming out.
Exactly. So I think that's quite interesting. Quite quick news for you there, but I think that's going to be a bit fighty.
Yeah, it will.
So
Claire will be another bar fight with Claire.
There'll be another bar fight. She'll be stabbing people with a pool cue. There is also a new car for London.
Really?
What do you think it is?
Is it a Mercedes 4x4?
No.
Is it a BMW 4x4?
It's the new Hennessy 6x6. It isn't. But it's a car that complies with the new ultra low emission zone that is coming in, which is being extended further. What do you think it is?
Is it a Jaguar?
Is it electric?
It's definitely electric.
Do you think it's electric?
Is it?
I'll show you.
Is it a bus?
It's had a very interesting owner.
Really?
Yeah, this car has an interesting owner, and there is the owner, one lady owner.
Is her car for sale?
It was sold for about 15 grand a little while ago. But the Queen is drives an X-Type, as you can see there. But the X-Type complies with the new ultra low emission zone.
Does it really?
Yep, it does.
So coincidentally, now the Queen drives it.
You can now pick that up, and you won't be charged for it. You can pick them up for about 5 or 6 grand.
Yeah,
that's all. And that's your car for London, and it's got petrol, and it's a Jaguar, and I know the X-Type isn't the best car that was ever made, but I think had
incredibly uncomfortable back seats. The X-Type.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. My grandfather had one.
Did it? No way. Yeah. Your grandfather had an X-Type? I have no idea. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah. Speaking of other cars for London.
Oh God.
I've sort of taken over here.
Yeah.
Do we have a rival for the ugliest small crossover currently for sale? There we are. The beloved Nissan Juke in its new incarnation there.
What is that?
Somehow they've managed
What is that? The lights and the grille and the...
Well, I think they attempted to sort of look roughly like the other one. But
it looks like a bird that you draw. It's a splat in the middle.
Hey, a bird. Oh yes, yeah. I
you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, when you just do that sort of downward V like that. I know what you mean. But yeah, it does look like that. So we have the new Mocha. There it is. We mentioned this a while ago.
Yeah, we did.
Was it called the Shield or
Visor?
The thing that Vauxhall Visor. The thing that looks a bit like Boba Fett's helmet.
Yes.
If you're
you don't even watch Star Wars.
No, I don't. But I know
that was good
much.
from you.
I know. I did some research. I will admit. But I think that just looks incredibly dull. Apart from the green paint, which is obviously the launch colour.
Do Vauxhall make an interesting car though?
Do they still make the VXR and stuff like that?
Yeah, they do.
Do they?
Yeah.
But
what
else
is
that
interesting? Is it the VXR?
No, there isn't. The Vauxhall.
That's the VXL.
There's one that is like a jacked up Mariva, which is called like the Cross Trail or something.
Didn't we see that?
Something or other. We did, yeah.
They're very cross because they're all so boring.
They're all so dull.
A very cross company.
So yeah, I think that's it. Do you want to know what engine it'll be coming with? Do you care?
Is it 4-cylinder, 2-litre engine?
Well, they'll be 99 horsepower. In a car, that's got to be really light, hasn't it? If you think about it, that's got to be a light car. If it's a crossover thing, it's not big, but it's bigger than what you would expect this to get. 1.2 litre petrol, or you can have a 1.5 litre diesel.
Consumer advice.
Yep, starting at £20,000, and they're going to do an electric version that'll cost about.
The Ford Fiesta ST costs less than that new.
99 horsepower.
That is dreadful.
That is just. I just think it's a bit uninspiring. And other than that, I haven't really got much else to tell you.
Well, I'm about to seduce you now, Charles.
Oh, no, I forgot.
You know what I'm about to come on, don't you? Well, we'll come on to you. The new Royce Ghost. If you haven't seen it, go onto the website.
We were having a look. Let me pull up.
I'll
this up.
I'll go through the tech specs of it right now.
Go through it.
It's powered by a 6.75 litre twin turbo V12.
Right.
And it's got suspension in it, so that all the vibrations go into the wheels instead of into the cabin.
Fair enough.
Very, very clever. And then on the website...
All very Rolls-Roycey.
Very Rolls-Roycey, very comfortable, very beautiful inside. I was looking at the photos today. It's also got high beam that goes 600 metres. It's a laser beam.
Yeah, I heard
instead
about
of
that.
LED. And they said it gives the driver the utmost confidence. But it completely ruins the confidence for absolutely everyone else on the road.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're going to get blinded by a laser beam coming the other way.
Exactly. It's going to cost about £250,000. And it is beautiful. Apart from the grille, which you mentioned earlier.
I don't like the aggressiveness of the air intake along the bottom.
No,
I think it's too angular. It's not Rolls-Royce.
No, you are
and
right.
And if you're going to do it, make it body coloured. Don't make it black.
Yeah.
Just so it's a lot quieter.
It's just a white grille, because it's basically coming in white, isn't it?
Well, the pictures... Well, we were going to go on the configurator, weren't we?
We were.
But we didn't get past the main page.
And then we stumbled across the seduction.
Well, this is the main page that you walk in on.
Yeah. So it's all black and white, and it's all very new and artsy and
a bit of smoke and a man running and an eye. It's too angular, that.
No,
grill.
you are right.
So as you
then go
down it...
You literally go down on the Ghost.
Would you like to... I mean...
I know the words.
To anyone who's listening to us... you will be able to hear this. So I think you should do this in full Rolls-Royce new... Christian Grey, 50 Shades of Grey, leather strapness.
As you scroll down the Rolls-Royce website, you will hear... Seek me, feel me. I am your new desire. Yours, Ghost.
I don't like it.
It says here, contact a specialist. That's what you need to do, isn't it?
After in there, oh god, yeah, you need to contact a specialist after that. It's just so incredibly.
I think I'm going to get picked up there for a new sort of movie.
I think you're going to be picked up for the different sort of film.
That's why the boot space is so big. It's got a 500 litre boot, and it's just full of leather goods.
No, it's full of bits of leather
and the leather goods that go with it.
It's full of leather straps with the accompanying luggage not in there. Full of what's this? And just how so in the boot of it, I think you know how you get your toolkit, your spare wheel, and all this sort of stuff. I think they're going to look all a bit suspicious. You go, what's this? What's this sitting in the back of your
ghost?
Of your ghost.
It's the yours
ghost. And it's the way that you ended the T, that the ghost.
I don't like that contact a specialist and
contact us.
End the news right there.
Contact a priest. I think you're really good. You need to get in touch with Jesus Christ.
Go into the little red box in the church.
Marvellous.
Forgive your sins, sir.
Oh dear, yes.
Yeah,
let me tie you down while you do it. Oh god.
Oh god.
Right, we'll move on very quickly.
Before you want to turn off.
Away from this. If you're not turned on, then you've turned off, I imagine.
But subscribe before you do turn off.
So any degenerate was watching that enjoyed that, enjoy Drive By Destroy, which is coming next. And for Drive By Destroy this week, you may be able to tell we've run out of ideas.
Yes, very much so.
Because this is the longest title we've had. Gangsters cars.
Dictators cars.
They've always sort of been one word followed by cars.
Yeah, that's what they are.
So, yes, exactly. So this week we've got the commercial vehicles of the Italian job. Bear with us.
Yeah, this is the original idea.
One of our favourite films.
If not the favourite film.
We could have gone Miura, E-Type, Mini.
But that's
which of the three Minis would you have, which is basically what's your favourite colour.
Yeah.
But I thought we'd go a bit left field on the whole Italian job thing.
You thought?
Oh no, sorry, you thought. No, you thought. So we start off with the bus. A Harrington Legionnaire. Built in this particular, I've done more research, not on the brand of the car itself, but on the particular car from the film. So the bus was built in 1964. Awesome colour scheme.
Yeah.
The bit with the spraying and Lorna hanging around.
There's more arm movement, Charles.
There's more arm movement. Awesome colour scheme. After the film, it went to work in Scotland until 1990, until it was scrapped. It was scrapped in 1990. It was actually scrapped? Yeah. But there were some guys...
What a shame.
There was an exit at the London Classic Car Show 2 years ago. They had or maybe 3. They had a collection of the cars together, so they'd sort of mocked up the bus. They got a bus which was similar. And painted it up.
It's not quite the same thing.
Not quite the same.
Because Michael Caine hasn't been in on his
But I'd love to know whether we're doing a similar thing nowadays with films. Like, are films being held onto big cars from films, like smaller cars from films? I don't know, pick a film, Fast and Furious, something like that. Do you think those cars are all tucked away somewhere?
Yeah, I wonder what happened to that Mark 1 Escort they had. Paul Walker had. Bet you don't remember, do you? What car that was? Exactly. I wonder what that is now.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think we may be looking at, well, what is that? Over 60 years' time. How long is it? 50 years' time?
When was it? 67?
Well, no, it's about 60 years, isn't it?
No.
Well, no, 1960, so 1970, so 50 years.
50 years.
Maths with the Drive-By podcast.
Wasn't our strong point at school.
No, it definitely wasn't. So it went to work and then it was scrapped in 1990. But are the cars from nowadays, will we be looking in 50 years' time?
I don't think so.
Do you know what? Where did that, I don't know, pick a film.
Fast and Furious. Where did that Dodge Charger go?
Where did the Dodge Charger... Oh, I imagine that's been tucked away. Like, star cars tend to work, but it's sort of like the flotsam around it.
Yeah.
Especially in cult movies. Like, here's one for you. One of our favourite films, Layer Cake.
What's happened to that Audi?
What's happened to the Audi?
The Arnage T.
What happened to the yellow Range Rover? Where is that? I'd love to rebuild one of them.
A good car.
I'd love to get a P38 and mock it up to look like that.
Oh.
So that's number one. That's the bus. Second, we have the security van.
Yeah.
After a little bit of research, it's called an OM. Alright, you prepare. We've done a bit of Italian earlier on.
Are you going to go Italian for me?
I'm going to go OM Furgonato. I think it's Furgonato. Yeah, Furgonato.
I can't do that.
OM, the company, which I'd never heard of, was bought by Fiat and then became Iveco, which is quite interesting. Two of the first 2 Mille Miglia were run by OM cars, not vans but cars.
Yeah.
And that was bought just as a van, and then the production team mocked it up, and then again, no one knew where it went.
It mostly got exploded.
Exactly. No, they didn't. No, nothing else happened to it. They just emptied the gold out of it and left it, didn't they?
Did they? What did they do to the drivers in the front? Did they gas them?
I remember they sprayed blue paint over the front, and then they knocked them over the head with a stick.
Did they? That happened a lot in that era of films, didn't it? People getting hit on the head of a stick. It was actually Claire Williams with the cute pool cue.
Pool cue, or the thing out of the Rolls Royce Ghost.
Let's not go there. We're getting too carried away with all that.
And finally, not really a commercial vehicle, but technically a commercial vehicle. The Landy, the Series 2A.
Awesome looking thing in the Italian job.
That car probably burning on the time, probably had a straight 6, 2.6 litre straight 6. I deduced. I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, comment below. It was still registered as of April of 1992. So
quite
it was
a while
somewhere.
Ago, Charles.
Yep, but that has gone. Possibly it was bought by one of the production team afterwards.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Or returned to wherever they borrowed it from, I imagine. So those are the cars.
What about the Dormy van?
The Dormobile.
Thames
Dormobile. I thought about that, but that didn't play a massive role in the film.
Just a bunch of England fans.
Yeah, and I'd like to mock up one of them as well. That'd be quite cool to get Dormobile and do that.
Yeah, it would.
So what would you be doing?
What would I be doing out of all these? I think that I would be driving the bus.
Yep.
Yeah, especially for mountain pass, and with my driving.
Why would you drive the bus? Just you want to give it the.
I want to give it the full beans and go right over the edge and then turn around again.
Because it did. When you notice at the front shot of the,
it went
the thing,
right over, didn't it?
You go, the road ends there. It gets to about there, and you go, is he going straight off? And then he just lazily turns.
Yeah, I imagine it comes with a big stack of gold in the back as well. So.
No, I don't think
I could afford to get some better lighting in here.
Somehow, yeah, exactly. Yeah, apologise for the lighting.
So yeah, I'll be driving the bus because I think it's really cool.
Yeah,
that's why I always drive things, isn't it?
Mm.
Buying the Land Rover.
Fair enough.
One of my favourite cars, especially the Series 2. It's not quite commercial, maybe,
but would you have a regular Series 2, or would you have it in full Italian job spec?
Full Italian job spec with everything on the sides.
With the they had the jack thing. What is it? Tow rope? It's not tow rope. It's like a winch. That's what I was thinking.
And a winch on it. There's stuff on the sides. Yeah, what do they have on the sides as well?
It was they had a couple of jerry cans at the front. They actually repositioned the lights, which I only noticed.
I just think that's an awesome looking car.
Put them in the front, and then you got to have the chicken wire down the side.
Maybe that's like what the classic of what Tweaked Automotive do now.
Just put some chicken wire on it and a big winch.
So I'll therefore be buying the Land Rover because it's one of my favourite cars.
Yep.
And reluctantly, because I think it's quite cool, the OM Mobile,
the security van.
Security van, I would be destroying.
With or without the poor drivers, would you be destroying that?
No, they get destroyed with it, don't they?
Yeah, fair enough. No, we set them free, as we said in Dictator's cars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you've got to let them free.
Let them free off into the woods somewhere.
Yeah, off they go.
No, that's how we're destroying that.
Interestingly enough, I would go the bus. I'd destroy the bus myself.
Oh, it's already been destroyed anyway.
Well, exactly. Yeah, poor thing.
Yeah.
But I would not have the bus. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a bus.
You can make it into a cool camper van then.
You could do. You could
That's
make
what everyone
it into
seems to be doing.
what, turning buses and
buses
things,
and
vans,
things.
like those Vito vans, those Mercedes Vito vans with the.
If you do it yourself, I think it looks quite cool. But if you buy it, it's not as cool.
Yeah. No, I think you're probably right there.
Yeah.
I would be driving the Land Rover, because who doesn't love a Land Rover? And I quite like the two. Right, it's a Land Rover.
Yeah. You are Land Rover's biggest advocate, aren't you?
Land Rovers now are the same as they would have been Land Rovers then.
Yeah.
Of Defenders and series Land Rovers.
Yeah. Talking of Defenders, actually, I saw a Defender, the new Defender, in London. And when it's driving, it has a really big presence.
Yeah.
But when it's parked and kind of stationary, it doesn't feel big at all.
No.
Which I thought was really odd. It
No,
looks really good though.
No, I know what you mean.
Sorry, off rail there.
And then I would be buying the security van.
Would you?
Yeah.
Well, because that comes with all the gold in it as well.
No, it's got two knocked out blokes in it. That's what poor sods. No. We're going back to the Ghost then. We can't.
Yeah,
we
that way
keep
what the two knocked
referencing
out
the
blokes
Ghost.
in that 500 litre. Boots.
Yeah, I like the security van. Imagine if you deck that out inside with some seats.
Yeah.
Imagine what a pub car that would be. That would be amazing.
Awesome, wouldn't it? It'd be really
amazing.
cool.
So yeah, that's what we'd do. Excellent.
Nice one.
Marvellous. So thank you very much for tuning in to episode 13.
Unlucky for some.
Unlucky for some, but not. No, I thought that was all right. I think that went okay.
Yeah.
Apart from the rather iffy Rolls-Royce Ghost bit. But thank you very much for tuning in.
Thank you. Make sure you like and subscribe.
Make sure you like and subscribe.
Turn on your notifications.
Absolutely. Drop a comment down below. And thank you very much. And we will see you all again next week for episode 14. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram as well.
Oh, yeah,
at
good
Drive
plug.
By, at Drive By Podcast, and myself at Charlie Drive.
Good plug on a good mug.
Excellent.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Thank you very much for watching.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.